That is, you must use data integrity verification techniques to confirm the following. The first one is the invoice number and product number fields are populated. We want to verify that invoice number and product number fields are populated. The second one is that all invoice numbers begin with 214. We'll see what that means very shortly. The third one is other quantities are less than 1,000 and then they are positive values. Then number 4, all prices are positive values. Okay, now that's to verify. When you're trying to attempt this in the test, you make sure that your verification or whatever you create or the table that you obtain after verifying must be saved as an Excel file so that you can submit along with your answers and solutions. Now your task is to create a computed field to identify records with at least one integrity. And the second task is the materiality threshold for computed data errors is 0.50 per transaction. So, excuse me. That is, if there's any data error, it shouldn't be more than this, 0.50. We are asked here to create a computer field to test related data fields for errors that is greater than this given threshold. So let's see what we can do about this. Now the first thing is to get your file open by double clicking on it. The activity already given us the table we are going to make use of, which is badfile.field. So what do we do here? The first thing that we do is that we go to edit, and then we click on table layout. From table layout we have a delete here, we have add a new data field, we have add a new expression, we have shift field. We're not shifting in field, we want to add a new expression. So under this name we type whatever I want to put there. We will name everything as problems or problem. Okay, so that's the first thing that we do. And in this FX button we will just put a value there, F, which stand for false. We will see what the implication of this is. If you remove F, you find out that if you're trying to click this, insert a condition here, it's not going to respond, because this condition works hand in hand with what is here, and let me remove it again. You notice this default filter, it is not going to be highlighted until I type in F here. Okay, I only need one value there. If I type two values, it's not going to be. So F. Okay, now we are going to insert a condition, and they've given us the conditions. They said the invoice number and the product number are populated. So all invoice numbers begin with 214. So what we're going to do is we're going to look for fields or records that the invoice number and the product number are not populated. That is, we're going to use a command called isBlank, where it is blank. All invoice numbers begin with 214. So that's what we should have on the table or in our data. But we're going to create a condition whereby we'll say invoice number maybe does not begin with 214. So let's try to attempt the first condition. Now we click on insert a condition. Instead of typing the condition here, we click on this condition, and the first condition is going to be isBlank. Okay, let me look for isBlank here. This is isBlank. You simply double click it. When you double click it, we're going to look for blank records in double click the string invoice number. So that was the first one. It's so very easy. The first one is this is going to be the second one. You'll see as we go along. Verify it's valid. We only just click OK. Then here, since we have false here, we put true here, so T, and click OK. Right, so that's the first condition. The second one is going to be product number. So we click isBlank. We click this condition again. We go here, and what do we do here? We look for isBlank once more. This is isBlank. So wherever is blank, which one is that? Is it product number? Yes. Verify. I think we did something like this in class the other time if you were in class. So here we put true here since we have false here. So the third condition we're going to put, okay, all invoice numbers begin with 214. So all invoice number does not begin with 214. So invoice number does not have anything. Not that's what it means. 214. But if let me see, verify. Oh, I'm gonna have some issues here. Why? Because I needed to have inserted quotation, opening quotation and closing quotation, before I put 214 here. Let me put this there, and this is too. Okay, so expression is now valid. Okay, so I can say okay. So that's the next thing I do is I put T here. So the fourth one is let's see the fourth one. The fourth one say other quantities are less than 1,000 and they are positive. That's the real thing that we should see. So our expression is going to negate this. We say other quantities are greater than 1,000 and whatever we want to, okay. So but we're going to frame it in certain way because it's also, there are two conditions and they are positive, so which means they're negative, which means they are less than 0. So we're going to say other quantity is less equal 0, okay, or other quantity is greater than 1,000. 1, 2, 3. Since the true has to be less than, so for the data to fail the integrity test, it has to be greater. For the other quantity to fail the integrity test, it has to be negative, or subtly we use less than 0 or less than 0 here. That's the first thing we did here. And the second thing is that it has to be greater than 1000. So I think we should be okay with this, and we can just click OK. And then we have a T here also. So we have 1 2 3 4 ready. And then the last one, what should the last one be? Let's see. The last one say all prices are positive values. So we're now looking for prices that are negative, 0 or negative. So prices less or equal 0. Okay, because that's where things that are not good start from 0. When your account is 0, when you have 0 down, when it is less than 0, so that's negative. So verify. Okay, so we just click on OK here. Okay, all right. So here too we click T. Now if you see all these other buttons, we are not going to make use of them, but this one is, if you want to re-edit what you've done here, you can click this, you can click this and click edit condition and value. Okay, so to bring that, but I'm not doing anything on that. Then this one is to move it up. That is when our condition is trying to look for the issues or the problems, it will start with the first one, second and third. So if you want a particular condition to start, you can move this. I'm not looking for that. I'm not going to do that, so I will leave it just as it is. So from there, you always remember to click accept entry, and it's denoted by this green button, green check button. So accept entry. I've accepted the entry. So what do I do there? The next thing after accepting the entry is to close. But before I close, you will find that the problem table that I've just created now has been added in our record. So we have the problem now, another column. Okay, these are the names of the columns we have here. So we have this problem. Now don't bother yourself about that, then just close it. Now it's not necessary that you have to use problem. You can use issues or whatever name you want to or field of whatever you want to use there. So now that's the first stage. So the next thing that we do simply is we now, because what is actually trying to we're trying to look for is this is the first one. What we did was to create the conditions that's going to help us to compute this field and to solve this first task. Create a computer field to identify records with at least one integrity problem. So we created five conditions to be able to identify the record integrity. So what do we do here? We simply go ahead to our global filter. Okay, click on it, edit view filter. Now if you look at this box here, filters, that's we've been doing some things. I think we did something on variable the other time when we created, is it total or something? Yes. Now this is filter here. We've saved here, we saved something else before. We've looked for or used some functions here, and we've used is blank. Mostly is blank is what we've been using mostly here. Though there are so many others that we can use. Look at this. We have maximum, minimum, mode, and so on and so forth. Between so many functions that we can make use of here. Now just double click on problems. That's what you need to do. If you double click on problem, now this problem is not just a text, it's not just a word, it is embedded it is encoded by 5 different, or is embedded with 5 different conditions that which we have created in ACL. And you know how we created that. So if we click OK now, we don't need really to click verify, because we verified all the conditions before now. If you click OK, it's going to rain down on our data, on everything we have here. It's going to rain down. That this is going to filter, is that we are allowing all this that we have here to pass through this funnel called problem. So let's see how it works. By the time we click OK, push. Can you see that now? So it has really trimmed down every other thing that does not meet those conditions. So and it's really fished out for us every record that has issues, that has problems. For example, this first invoice, we have the invoice number, there's no product number, we have price and so on and others. The second one also, we have the invoice number, but we don't have we don't know the kind of product that was bought or purchased. This one, we have the product number, but we don't have the invoice number. So this last one, what happened to it? I don't know, maybe we have to check the okay. This last one, we were told that every invoice does not start with 01, it starts with 214. Now this one starts with 01, so there's a problem here, and we can take this to the okay. So there's a problem here, and we have to actually take all those into consideration. So what is the exact issue that we were given? We say create a computer feed to identify records with at least one record. So we've gotten that. If we add let's say 500 records, it may not be easy for us to be counting one by one, but here I know this is 4. If I say control 3, I think we use control 3, I can easily count it. If you come down here, you'll see it's going to be 3. Yeah, okay. Oh, sorry, 4. So this is the solution to the problem 4. We have 4 records, but if you are doing this in the test, I would like you to save this as an export in Excel, so that we want all the fields there, all the fields, okay, so that I can actually see what you have done. You save it as Excel file, and you name it something like let's say you can just say problem file, problem underscore away. After you write something like this, problem underscore, then write your matric number, maybe mark underscore 2019 underscore 235. Okay, then you say okay, because it's gonna help me to be able to assess your work. Now what can I say? If you want to see where the file is located, I've shown you something like this before in one of the videos. So this is the file. Okay, if I copy this and go to, let me see if this is going to work. Let me just paste it here. Okay, so it brings up this particular file, so you can just is it this? I hope so. Open location. Okay, all right, so we got it. Okay, so is there. So this is what you're going to save in your flash drive. I don't know where your flash drive is. That's what you're going to save in your flash drive. Let me open it. Let's see what's there. It's the Excel file that we just created now. We are through with this first part of the question, but I'm just trying to show you examples of how you can actually export your file and then save it on your file on your flash drive. Now, what I was trying to say the other time is that if you now want to, type in a discourse, answer, you can just say solution or something like that, or answer is you can now just say maybe there are 4 records that have integrity problems. So save it and make sure you name it this way. It could be maybe difference field underscore mark 2019 235, because that's what's going to distinguish your your files from someone else. I'm going to download a whole lot of all the files that are going to be submitted. So but your metric number on each of the your extract files or extracted files is going to distinguish your work from someone else. So that's how we do that.